The peasant has watched my last video about the 5 signs of low testosterone, and he realized he has all of them. He was very worried for 10 minutes after watching it and really wanted to improve his testosterone levels. So he went to the gym. He ran on a treadmill for 5 minutes, but then he thought, "Oh, this is too hard, I'll do it tomorrow," and went home to play video games. Do you think he will do it tomorrow? I don't think so. And because of this lack of consistency, he is going to stay with low testosterone, and his balls are going to get small. King's balls are so big he can't even fit them in his pants. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's do this normally. King's testosterone levels are through the roof because he has a lifestyle that promotes his production of testosterone. He sleeps well, he trains every day, and he eats like a man. And thanks to these habits, his level of testosterone can't even be measured. He puts on muscle so fast that fitness influencers are calling him not natty. Before this video starts, I'm going to ask you for something. I need you to give this your full attention. I don't want you scrolling into the comment section, no looking at other videos, no playing chess on another tab, nothing. If you aren't going to pay attention, if you are looking for just entertainment, go watch some other video, go watch Mr. Beast. We aren't pussies here. Okay, and once we got that out of the way, we can continue. I'm gonna be honest, I have not done a testosterone blood test yet, so I can't actually tell you from the scientific viewpoint if these 5 ways work. But I have consumed so many videos, studies, and podcasts about testosterone where people were actually tested and it worked for them. So all that I can tell you from my personal experience is that after I started doing the things I will tell you in this video, I had more energy, I put on muscle faster, and I just felt much better, more masculine. And also, this isn't just about testosterone. If you do bad habits right now, if you don't keep up your testosterone, you might become infertile in the future. And that's actually very common. The infertility of men is skyrocketing right now. Just imagine how painful it would be for you and even your future wife to not be able to have children. Then life would be meaningless, right? In the last video, I discussed with you the 5 signs of low testosterone, and I just want to say that even if you don't have any of them, you can still improve. For example, one of the signs was feeling anxious in social situations. You might not really feel anxious, but you can still be less anxious and more confident. Or you might be gaining muscle fast, but you can still be gaining muscle faster if you improve your testosterone. And also, I don't want to waste your time here telling you, oh, make sure you sleep enough, make sure you lift weights, make sure you go outside. Like we all know that, if I was saying this basic stuff, this video would probably get more views, but it wouldn't help anybody. I'm here to tell you the uncomfortable truth, that if you implement, you will see actual results. Okay, so number 1 is diet. Now all the little skinny neck peasants are clicking off thinking,
"Oh, he just told us he isn't going to waste our time with the basics."
But the diet is much more important than anything. If you look at how the 18-year-olds looked back in the day, they were already fully developed and had beards. And when you look at the average 18-year-old now, what do you see? Some fat boy shaped like a girl. Like if you were to take a person from a century ago and showed him how an 18-year-old looks today, they would laugh. Like honestly, generations are getting softer as the time progresses. Why does this happen? Mainly our diet, because some of the foods that most men eat on a day-to-day basis are literally recognized like estrogen in their bodies. And if you don't know what estrogen is, it's basically the opposite of testosterone, it's the female hormone. So what are the estrogenic foods? Great question, and the short answer is everything artificial. Now all the little peasants are clicking off again.
Oh, he said it now, so I can just go watch a League of Legends video.
And if that's you, go ahead, you don't deserve this knowledge, and for those whose stupidity isn't blinding them, we can continue. The main thing I'm going to tell you right away is almost everything with sugar in it. Of course I say almost, because there is sugar in fruit and even in some vegetables, and that's okay, you can eat that, but make sure to wash it with a bunch of hot water. Because those pesticides are first of all poisonous, and second of all estrogenic. So maybe it would be better to say all artificial sugars, so basically candy. Candy is estrogenical because of the artificial sugar in them, and also a lot of them are made chemically with ingredients that you can't even pronounce. Second thing that most people still use are oils. Now don't get me wrong, fat, like for example butter, is actually extremely good for you, but there are bad ones, and those are basically all that are liquid in their normal state, except fish oil. So sunflower oil, canola oil, and if I were you I would avoid olive oil and avocado oil too, because they can be healthy, but only when they are super high quality. And the third thing, which you are going to hate me for, is milk. I know, a lot of you really like milk, and you are probably disappointed watching this, but it's also estrogenic. I once read a study in which they made a test in some school where they gave out milk to kids, and they tested the boys' urine before and after drinking the milk. And what they found was that it contained significantly more estrogen than before. So avoid milk. The fourth one, which you are going to hate me for even more, because fixing it will cost you some money, is tap water. Now you obviously need to drink water, but the one that you are drinking is most likely decreasing your testosterone. Let me explain. When the water gets filtered out by the government, most of the bad and toxic stuff gets filtered out, but this filter system can't filter out hormones because they are too small. But why are there hormones in our water? How do they get there? You see, when girls go on birth control, some of it ends up in their urine, which then goes into those filters, and those filters can't filter it out. Same thing with antibiotics. When sick people take them, it also ends up in our water. You might think that it doesn't work like that in your country, but that's just not true, because it works like that in like 99% of countries. If you don't believe me, you can Google it. The sewage, so the poo and the pee gets filtered by the government to not look dirty, so it just looks like normal water, then it gets poured into waterways, so basically rivers. And from the rivers, it's then taken again to be filtered out to be made into tap water that flows in your sink. So how do you filter out all of this bullshit from your water? I found that the most effective way is to buy a reverse osmosis filter, but that one is really expensive and I can't even afford it. So I went looking for an alternative, and I found a filter that is more than half the price of the other one, and those are carbon water filters. You can buy it in a form of a pitcher, which is kinda annoying, because you have to wait for like 30 seconds more so you can drink, but I think it's worth it. I always get really annoyed when a YouTuber talks about a product they bought and doesn't give me the link for it, so I'm gonna try to get an affiliate link for both, so if you want to buy it, you can use those links and I will get some money for it. Okay, so now you probably understand, but so far I've only told you what not to eat. So what should you eat then? And that's very simple. Eat like your ancestors, who had literally triple our testosterone. Think about what they ate. They ate natural foods, meat, eggs, vegetables, fruit, nuts, so make sure to eat like them. Also make sure to eat a lot of healthy fat. Some people will try to tell you,
Oh, but butter and eggs increase your cholesterol and you will clog your arteries and die.
And those people are just not educated, so let me try explain it how I understand it. Butter, eggs, meat, etc. do contain cholesterol, but that's healthy cholesterol, and if you eat too much of it, your liver will just let you poop it out. There might be some medical nerd here who is now angry because I said it slightly wrong, but this is how I understand it, so if you are a doctor, you can go into the comments, tell us precisely how it works, and if it's right, I will pin your comment. Also be careful when buying butter, because there are these spreadable butters, and that is basically sunflower oil, which is estrogenic like we talked about previously. Like if you think about it, fat isn't supposed to be spreadable. If you pinch your belly fat, you wouldn't be able to spread that on a bread, so this spreadable butter you are getting is just bullshit, so you shouldn't eat it, just buy normal raw butter. Number 2, avoid plastic. There is one molecule in every plastic thing that acts like estrogen in our bodies. It's called BPA, also known as bisphenol A. You might think, oh, I'll just buy BPA-free plastic then, but no, that's even worse, because the companies will put a label, BPA-free, and instead of bisphenol A, they use bisphenol B or bisphenol C. Like I just Googled it, there is a bisphenol for almost every letter in the alphabet. So try to avoid plastic. I know that in our world it's very difficult, because literally everything is plastic. Your keyboard, your mouse, your chair that you are sitting on. Like literally, if you look around yourself, everything is plastic. Most importantly, your clothes, they are probably made of polyester. I want you to do something now, brother. Check the labels on your clothes. I'll wait a moment for you. If they are made of polyester, just switch them. You are probably in your room right now, so just switch your clothes, because your clothes are what you come in contact with the most. You should be aiming for at least 90% of wool or cotton, and I actually haven't seen anybody talk about linen. That's also okay, because it's just a plant. Whenever you buy clothes, make sure to check the label and look for the clothes that have wool, cotton, or linen. If you find something made of polyester and it looks good, sure buy it, but wear it only outside, and wear something else at home. The goal is to at least limit the use of plastic. Try to do this once this video ends. Go through your life and think about what you are using the most that is made of plastic, and try to replace them one by one. Let's say you wear polyester clothes every day, then go and wear them only outside, or not at all if you want to take this seriously. Or you have a plastic water bottle that you drink from every day, then get a metal one. Or your toothpaste that is stored in a plastic tube, so you can get a glass one. And also there is very often fluoride in people's toothpastes, which is estrogenic, so I will leave a link in the description for the one I'm using, because it is in glass and has no fluoride. Or your phone case, that's also plastic. I've tried searching for a leather one, but all of them just slip out, because they need the rubber plastic grip. So I just took it off, because my health means more to me than my phone. So unless you find a phone case that your phone won't slip out from, you should take it off too. So, yeah, I'm just giving you examples. You have to figure this out yourself. Just pay the most attention to the things that are close to your balls. Number 3 will be a shorter one because this video is probably already really long. So number 3, keep your phone out of your pocket. Maybe you remember back in 2015 people were speaking about this a lot, that you shouldn't put your phone in your pocket because the vibration can kill your sperm. Well, it turns out it's true. I saw this in a video by Hamza, where he was talking about the book 4 Hour Body, which is a book by Tim Ferriss. And in the book, he was talking about how he increased his testosterone by just putting his phone in an armband, so it wouldn't be in his pocket literally millimeters next to his balls. You might think that you can just put the phone on airplane mode and it will stop all the vibrations, and yes it does. So it's still better if you put it in airplane mode, but the heat from the phone can still kill the sperm. And usually when something kills sperm, it decreases testosterone. Obviously you don't need to have it in an armband like a weirdo. You can just hold it in your hand, or put it in your bag, and keep it in there because you are probably addicted anyway, but that's going off topic. The best thing you can do is to just have it in your hand on airplane mode. Now you might be thinking, oh, but what if I get robbed? To that I would say that you would have probably gotten robbed anyway, whether it was in your pocket or in your hand. It doesn't really matter. The robber won't just run at you because you have your phone out. Or if you live in a really bad part of town where someone might try to snatch it off you, then just put it in your bag. And anyway, if you would hold it properly with your hand, then a robber wouldn't go to try and snatch it off you, because if he tries to grab it and you are holding it, then it's one-on-one combat, and no robber really wants that in my opinion. Especially if you have been going to the gym for a while and you look big, then nobody in their right mind will try to pick a fight with you. So that's another reason you need to get jacked and learn to fight. People won't try to pick a fight with you because it's just not worth it. Number 4, avoid heat, especially next to your balls. There was a saying that ancient Spartans used, warmth is for the weak, and it's completely right. Because warmth can kill off sperm, and when something kills sperm, then it decreases your testosterone, like I already said. I'm not saying that Spartans knew this, they probably just bathed in cold water to build the mental resilience. But it also helped them with testosterone, because your balls should be colder than the rest of your body. And that's why when you sit, you are decreasing your testosterone. Because your legs are warming up your balls. So there is an actionable step you can take right now. Stand up. Do it now, just stand for the rest of this video. Now, when you are working, the fix to this would be a stand-up desk, but they are very expensive, so you can perhaps make it your goal in the future to save up for it. I don't have one yet, so I did it like this. For example, when I'm drawing a thumbnail for these videos, I grab a small stool, put it on my table, and put my tablet on the stool, and that way I can draw while standing. So you can try to copy my idea depending on what type of work you do. Obviously, if you are a student, you can't just stand in class. So make sure to spread your legs. Nowadays it's called man spreading, and it's very offensive to the feminist blue hair girls, but we don't care about them, we care about our testosterone. So in class, make sure to man spread, and take every chance to stand up. Now I also want to talk about hot showers and baths. I used to take a lot of them before I found this out. Like I would literally be in a steaming hot shower for an entire hour, I'm not even kidding. I know that most of you don't really want to take cold showers only, so I'll just tell you to try to keep it as cold as possible. And if you really want to take a hot shower, just do it quickly. And if I were you, I would avoid baths completely, because not only is it kinda gay, your balls are also submerged in hot water for like 30 minutes. But you might be wondering about saunas. Saunas are healthy, right? And yes, they are. They actually help with testosterone production, because when you sweat, your body releases estrogen with the sweat, so saunas are actually really beneficial. But they are warm, and warmth kills sperm, so what you should do if you go to a sauna is to just take a packet of ice and put it in your lap, not exactly on your balls, but just in your lap so the temperature gets regulated. And also, just a side note, when you go into a sauna, make sure to bring a towel or shower after it, because if you wouldn't, the sweat then gets sucked back into the skin, and so does the estrogen. Number 5, increase your cholesterol intake. When you hear cholesterol, you think about this big bad unhealthy thing that's going to clog your arteries and give you a heart attack, but it's actually not. Cholesterol is needed for the function of hormone production, which means production of testosterone, because it's a hormone. All your life you have been told that cholesterol is unhealthy, so you probably don't believe me now, and I totally understand, which is why I'll leave links to the podcasts and videos by very respected doctors that I've learned this from. I once watched a podcast by Sterling Cooper, who is an ex-corn star who basically biohacked his way towards being famous. And he was talking about how every day before he had to go film a scene, he would eat 8 eggs, which would help him get a boner, and when something helps you get a boner, it will increase your testosterone. Now you might be thinking, oh, I'll just go eat McDonald's, that has a lot of cholesterol, so it must be good, right? No, McDonald's is not okay, because that's unhealthy cholesterol, and that will actually decrease your testosterone. You need to eat healthy things that are high in cholesterol: butter, eggs, steak, fish, yogurt. Think about your ancestors, whose normal testosterone was 3 times today's testosterone. They were all eating cholesterol. When they would come home from work, their wife cooked them a big-ass steak with a bunch of butter, because otherwise it would stick to the pan. Which brings me to another thing that I forgot to mention. Teflon pans are also estrogenic. You need to cook on iron pans. Like, think about it. Pans aren't supposed to be non-stick. Think about how much chemicals they needed to put in to make an iron pan non-stick. Like protein is supposed to stick to iron. That's why you have to use butter so it doesn't stick. So yeah, I think I said it all here. Hopefully you learned something and have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.